So hello and welcome back to Go Again Gaming. I am Az, and today I'm going to be looking at another insight into one of the original heroes from Welcome to Wraith in Flesh and Blood, and this is Bravo, the Showstopper. So again, a lore video will be following this video, so you can go check out his lore and his backstory as to what he's all about. But Bravo is a extremely powerful character. He's confident, charming, and theatrical, and likes performance. And set the stage, build the anticipation, and prepare for the grand finale. For once he's ready to strike, nothing can stand in the way of his powerful attacks. So you do not want to be getting hit by Bravo's attacks. He's very, very powerful. So let me just flash up Bravo, screen share, blah, blah, blah. There he is. This one doesn't have a animation, which is a bit of a shame. A lot of the other cards or heroes do have animations, whereas Bravo is just static with his arm in the air with his sort of maul weapon there. So yeah, again, you can read his story here, or you can check out the lore video, which will be coming shortly after this. So that's Bravo, the Showstopper. So let's have a look at his hero highlights. So we've got Crushing Blows. So Bravo, the strongest man in all of Wraith. Also, the posters pinned to the trees and alehouse doors say when the Everfest Carnival approaches. So, Bravo is part of the Everfest Carnival. Crush attacks are the most powerful attacks in Welcome to Wraith. So often the opponent will be able to dodge their full impact, but if Bravo is able to gain a dominating position, the severe detrimental crush effects will cripple the opponent's plans. So, yeah, you do not want to be getting hit by these blows. So you do have to use a lot of defensive capabilities to be able to negate a lot of Bravo's attacks, because if you don't want to be getting hit by crushing attacks or anything like that, because they are absolutely just disgusting. And second to that, we've got Domination as well. So Bravo is a master of dominating the limelight and likewise combat. His hero ability plays a key role in his performance, making his show-stopping acts impossible to miss. Bravo's ability makes his crush attacks with 7 or more power more likely to deal the 4 damage required to inflict their debilitating effects. So crush basically means if you do excess of 4 damage, you get a crushing trigger basically. So the more sort of damage you put in, the more likely you're going to be able to do the crushing attack. So again, you do have to, as an opponent facing Bravo, you do have to be very careful, and you do have to stop his attacks going through, otherwise you're going to get rinsed basically. And star of the show, so when Bravo takes the stage, his presence fills the room, such is the aura of a great showman. Auras are a key part of Bravo's act, bolstering his ability to impose himself on center stage and on the battlefield. Bravo's auras stay in the arena when you play them, giving you an ongoing effect or an effect at a future point in time. So this is the first hero that we've gone into that has sort of long-lasting card effects, and I think they're experimenting more with this in the later sets like Arcane Rising. I think in Arcane Rising you can summon like ally cards that stay on the field, and loads of other things. But obviously I'm very, very new to the game, still am, so I'm sure we're going to find out about those cards as we do more research into it. But yeah, there's going to be more sort of permanent cards on the battlefield rather than just cards that are played and then sort of discarded. There's going to be more development, I imagine, in those areas for having more static effects on the board, much like Magic, where you have creatures, permanents, enchantments. With this, I imagine there's going to be more and more stuff that play on that space a little bit more as well. But I hope it doesn't take over, because obviously this game is very much you are the hero facing another hero. So if you start summoning allies, if you start having these mentor cards that have come out recently, the game might get a bit sort of derailed from what it was supposed to be, I think. So we have to keep an eye on that space, that's for sure. But yeah, so you're going to see auras in Bravo's deck. So let's have a look at Bravo's cards. Obviously we'll click on Bravo first to see what he's like. So again, like all the heroes in the set, he's got HP of 40 and intellect of 4, and obviously the young hero has just half the life total. Just an aesthetic basically for the game that you're playing, or the format that you're playing. So Bravo the Showstopper, his abilities. So you've got an action on Bravo's card, which costs 2 resource points. This is interesting. So it says, until end of turn, your attack action cards with cost 3 resources or greater gain Dominate and then go again. So yeah, you do have to put a lot of resources into this ability, but then all of your action cards with 3 resources or greater gain Dominate and go again, which is pretty crushing. So you can see that with Bravo, you just want to be setting up for a massive turn. So yeah, you might want to take damage. You might want to sort of take some early hits early on to set up big, massive turns with Bravo. So it's going to be interesting to see what his cards do as we read them out. Because again, we haven't done any research. We're just jumping straight into this with our brain that is tuned into obviously a little bit of the rules, obviously previous TCG board game experience, and yeah, just going at it from a fresh face, basically, fresh set of eyes. So yeah, Bravo the Showstopper, just to me straight away says you want to be building up for a massive turn. Just make sure you capitalise on that sort of ability there. So let's move on to his weapon, which is Anathos. So this is his sort of maul that he has. So it's a 2-handed hammer, and it's a guardian weapon. So I should say that Bravo is a guardian. So he's not a warrior, he's not a brute, he's not anything else. He's got his own class, and it's guardian. So maybe like a hard-hitting paladin sort of style character. And yeah, he's got a maul. So yeah, absolutely smiting the opponents. So yeah, you got Anathos. So you got a once per turn attack action, and that is 3 resources to use this as an attack. So again, if you've got 5 resource points that you can pitch, you can use Bravo's action and Bravo's Anathos to get a massive attack in straight away. So you can get Dominate and go again with 5 resource points. It's quite expensive. The resource points are quite expensive, so you're going to have to pitch quite a lot of cards to use those abilities. But I'm sure there's other sort of cards that synergize with this. But yeah, once per turn attack action, 3 resources you can attack with this. It does 4 damage. If you have 2 or more cards in your pitch zone with cost 3 or greater, Anathos gets +2 attack. So that's good. Yeah. So I think this deck cares about pitching high cost resources to the pitch zone. And that's not bad. Pitching isn't bad because you get those cards back. It's not like you're discarding them and you can't get them back. Pitching just means that you're using your card in your hand to fuel another card, and that card goes to the pitch zone, which then gets shuffled back to the bottom of your library or the bottom of your deck after it's been used at the end of the turn, I think. I don't know what the sequencing is like, but you never lose a pitch card. It always goes back into your deck for later use. So you never lose it. It just comes up later. So pitching cards is not a bad thing. You do have to pitch a lot of cards in this game to pay for the resource value of abilities and other cards that you use and other effects. So but yeah, this card and this character obviously cares about cards with a lot of resource cost. So it's a bit all in. So you do need to sort of invest into one attack or invest into one big move. But you're going to get big payoffs if you do that. So yeah, that's really, really cool. So that's Anathos, his main weapon, 2-handed weapon. Next, we've got Tectonic Plating. So this is a Guardian equipment, chest equipment. So it's got 2 defense. It's got Battle Worn, so obviously if you defend with it, you get a -1 counter on it when the combat chain closes. And it's got a once per turn action. For 1 resource, you can create a Seismic Surge Aura token and then go again. So I don't know what a Seismic Surge Aura token is. So let's just Google that very quickly. Seismic Surge Aura token. So let's see what this does. So here we go. At the beginning of your action phase, destroy Seismic Surge. The next Guardian, at the beginning of your action phase, destroy Seismic Surge. Then the next Guardian attack action you play costs 1 resource less to play. So that's cool. So obviously, a lot of these cards in Bravo's deck are going to cost quite a lot. But with Tectonic Plating, you can sort of take a turn off to reduce the cost of your next turn's actions. which is quite good. So again, this deck is all about building up for one big hit. So yeah, that's going to be good. So obviously with Bravo, the opponent, when someone's playing against Bravo, they're going to think, right, he's building up for a massive attack. So do I want to try and save my cards to negate that attack, or do I want to try and get in some damage now? So that's going to be one of the main things that's going to be playing on your mind when you're facing Bravo, is that if you allow him to build up and you don't have the resources and defensives to deal with his attacks, you're going to have to face the consequences of that. So very, very interesting play style. It's about building the attack up over sometimes multiple turns to unleash the absolute mayhem of the Anathos or the other attack cards that I imagine he's going to have specialised to him. So yeah, Tectonic Plating is good. Once per turn action, you can pay a resource, create a Seismic Surge or a token, then go again. So it's not like you lose your turn either. You just have to use a resource to create a token, which then discounts further turns, but then you do get to go again after you've used the Tectonic Plating. You do get an action point back, so you can still attack or still do other actions. So again, yeah, it's a very interesting mechanic, is like action points and go again and all that sort of thing. So yeah, really, really cool. Like it. Next we have Helm of Eisen's Peak. This is a Guardian equipment for the head. It's got 1 defense, and obviously if you defend with it, you get a -1 counter on it, so you can only really use it once as a defense. You've got an action which costs 1 resource. It says destroy the Helm of Eisen's Peak. Your hero gains +1 intellect until end of turn, which is pretty good. You know, you can draw up to 5 cards instead, which is quite good. I haven't seen any cards as part of these sort of hero flavour stuff since I've been looking into the game. I've only looked into these cards and read them off as I've encountered them, really. So I haven't actually seen any other cards that allow you to increase or decrease your intellect. So that is interesting. I can't wait to have a look into the actual cards and see what else there is that plays with the intellect stat, because I haven't seen anything else apart from that so far. So interesting. Helm of Eisen's Peak. That's cool. So next we got the first Guardian attack action, and that is Crippling Crush. So this can be pitched for 1 resource. It costs 7 resources to play, but it has 11 damage, and it can be used as a 3 defense. 11 damage. 11 damage. 11 damage. That's a lot. That is a lot of... This character, just looking across the cards now, has got the highest damage that I've seen so far in this game. 11 damage. It's ridiculous. It's a Bravo specialisation, so only Bravo can use the Crippling Crush. And it says Crush as well, so if Crippling Crush deals 4 or more damage to a hero, they discard 2 random cards. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so this is like, if you get hit by Bravo, you're going down. You do not want to get hit by Bravo, because if you get hit, especially with the Crush triggers as well, you're just going to be discarding random cards, taking 11 damage to the face as well. It's horrendous, absolutely horrendous. But it does cost 7 resources to play. But obviously, you've got the Tectonic Plating, you've got other things that will help about high cost cards. So yeah, massive upside, but very, very expensive to pull off. So again, big, huge attacks. But these attacks will take longer to go through than your other normal heroes. Next, we've got Showtime. So this is a Guardian action aura. So this costs 3 resources, and you can pitch it for 3 resources, and you can use it as a defense card for 3 defense. And it's a Bravo specialization, yet again. And it says, when Showtime enters the arena, search your deck for a Guardian action attack card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So that's cool, so it kind of replaces itself. And then at the beginning of your action phase, destroy Showtime, then draw a card. So again, it's more of these investment style cards. So you play this down, it replaces itself with another attack action card, and then at the beginning of the action phase, you destroy this card to draw another card. So you've got more resources in your hand, you've got more cards to use, but you're not getting anything on the turn you play it, really, apart from a replacement, a card to replace it with. But at that point, you've probably used your resources to play it, because it costs 3 to play. So it's quite an expensive card to play. But then it just sets you up for the next turn. So with this deck, it's all about sort of setting yourself up for a huge smash in the face, which is definitely going to be right up someone's street with regards to just smashing face with huge damage and huge hammer. So yeah, Showtime, pretty good card. Spinal Crush. So this is a Guardian action attack. It costs 5 resources to play, and you can pitch it for 1 resource. It's got a defensive 3, and you can attack power of 9. 9 power, okay? And it also has Crush on there as well. So if Spinal Crush deals 4 or more damage to a hero, action cards, activated abilities, and attacks they control lose and can't gain Go Again during their next action phase. So yeah, that's pretty good. Action cards, activated abilities, and attacks they control lose and can't gain Go Again during their next action phase. So yeah, that's pretty good, because that just immobilizes them in their tracks. If you do 4 or more damage, they're not going to be able to gain any Go Agains at all, which is pretty good. None of their cards, action cards, activated abilities, and attacks they control lose can't gain Go Again. Yeah, so that's really, really good. That's really useful for, again, because Bravo's deck is setting up for huge turns. Spinal Crush sort of negates the enemies from getting too far ahead, because they can't gain Go Again after you've attacked them with this card and 4 damage has gone through. So that is cool. It's sort of like crushing their spine. They cannot move. They can't do anything massive next turn, because you just rinsed them on the last turn. So yeah, very, very thematic. It's good stopping the enemy in their tracks, and making them think about how much damage they can afford to take from Bravo because of the actual Crush triggered abilities that's going on here. And similar to Spinal Crush, we have Cranial Crush. So this is another Guardian action attack. It can be pitched for 3 resources. It costs 6 resources to play. It's got a defensive 3 and an attack power of 8. And again, it's got Crush on there. So if Cranial Crush deals 4 or more damage to a hero, they can't draw cards during their next action phase. So yeah, these big crushing attacks here, if they're allowed to go through, will disrupt their game plan massively, which is awesome. And obviously you've got the Bravo Showstopper card as well, meaning that you know, all of your big cost cards gain Dominate as well, which is always good. I can't remember what Dominate does. It says there. The defending hero can't defend the attack with more than 1 card from their hand, which is just ridiculous. You know, absolutely ridiculous. You cannot afford to be dominated by Bravo, because you're going to get crushed. So that's really, really cool. And then we got Forged for War as well, the last card in this little sort of teaser section, which is a Guardian action aura. So again, another thing that stays on the arena. So this is 2 resources to play and 2 resources if you pitch it. It's got a defensive 3, and it says immediately it says Go Again. So if you play this, you get another action point, which is cool. When it's in the arena, equipment you control gain +1. So that's good. So your equipment that you have on the field can be used for extra defenses, which is good. Because I imagine you're going to be getting attacked, and you're not going to be able to defend against a lot of things, because the cards in your hand are so valuable. You need to use them for pitching to fuel other cards. You're sometimes not going to be able to defend certain attacks with Bravo, because you want to sort of keep the cards back in your hand to fuel your other cards, basically. So having your equipments that you're wearing giving you extra defense is probably going to be quite good in this deck. And I imagine there probably will be other cards in the main sets that will buff up your equipments and stuff that allow you to defend against attacks without having to use your cards in your hand. So that's very, very good. And it says at the beginning of the action phase, destroy Forged for War. So Yeah, just quite a good little card for defense. Beginning of your action phase, destroy Forged for War. So yeah, I guess it just gives your equipment just extra stuff, which is good. So yeah, this deck just cares about, if you're using Bravo, just massive attacks, investing into future turns to deal maximum damage and dominating, crippling your opponents with just one hit. And there's a moment in his lore where his hammer just glows and he just rinses the enemies around him. The dregs, they're called. They're like weird creatures. Go and check out the lore video that will precede this video. But yeah, Bravo the Showstopper is all about massive, dominating, show-stopping attacks that just dominate and cripple and crush your enemies. So looks really cool. I really like that sort of strategy, because in card games in general, I do love big splashy effects. I love big splashy abilities, maximum damage but maximum resources put into that sort of one attack as such. So yeah, definitely speaks a bit to me, this Bravo the Showstopper hero character. Yeah, can't wait to start looking into the main sets to see how a deck with Bravo could be added to. What other cards could work well with this sort of strategy of pitching high value pitch cards to fuel massive attacks, and using the abilities to gain dominate as well on high costed resource cards. But yeah, looking really good. So that's Bravo, and make sure you check out the lore video, which is coming out soon, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell notification if you want to be notified of any future videos here on Go Again Gaming. I have been Az, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you very much for watching.